This video deals with how to create the basics of the shop outline. The display stand, pardon me, was covered in another video, so I won't do that, and importing Inventor files and creating and setting up lights. Pardon me. So let's get started. So I've clicked on plane over here. Click and drag out the plane. So pressing F3 will show you the edges of the plane. This means that this plane here has got 4 segments. Right clicking on this spinner here, and this one here will reduce the segments to minimum value, which is 1. Right click on the plane, convert to editable poly. So the plane has changed object type. Now it's an editable poly, which means I can select either vertex, so like this, edge, border, so it's the outside of it, the polygon, or an element. Selecting the border here, press W on the keyboard to activate move, hold down shift and drag upwards. Creates the walls. Don't want these front 2 walls here, so put it on polygon, hold down control to multi-select walls and then delete. I'm just going to, not going to bother with a stand as such. I'll just put a cylinder in here. So create cylinder like so. So that'll be our display stand. I'll change the color of this so that it's not quite so confusing. There we go. We'll import, it won't be the phone stand, it'll be something else, but it's the same process. So we click on there, go to import. So it's a non-native file format. Browse to where something might be hiding. Let's go to docs, Inventor. This is one of the exercises that we did earlier. Oops. Actually, if got anything in there, open it. So Inventor server will run, and then this comes up. It's important to read it before just clicking on OK, because the default for import is to completely replace the scene. So we want to actually merge with the scene and import it as a mesh. So OK. So 3ds Max has imported this clip and put it into the scene at 0, 0, I would presume. So down there, so it's hidden. While it's still selected, we can grab it and move it up to the top. Like so. Sink it down a little bit. There we go. So if you wish to scale or resize your object, you can press the scale button or R on your keyboard and it will rescale. W is to move, so move it in that direction. So that's that. It's a pretty straightforward process. Next process is to create some lights and put them around the place in an interesting sort of way. So we'll hit on the create tab again. This time, instead of standard primitives, go to lights, choose a free light in this case, and then click where you want the light to be. It's important to note that, pardon me again, it's important to note that lights are created at ground level, like so, and will need to be lifted up. So even if you think, if you're clicking up here and you think you're creating the light near the top of the ceiling, you're not. You're just creating it at ground level a long way away. So another thing so we'll move this light up. Let's do that. So it's unfortunate, but we can't actually see the effect that this light is having on the scene, because it just represents it as such and doesn't show you any lights. So we need to change this. We're going to go right click, lighting and shadows, illuminate with scene lights. So now we can see the effect the light has on the scene. Oops, that's not the light. We'll hit F9 on the keyboard to render the view so we can see what it looks like. We render it by clicking the render window button. Here we go. You can see that we're getting some artifacts here from the light bouncing off of this. You can create interesting light effects as well. So hold down shift, drag it over here. So this will duplicate our light. It asks if you would like it as an instance or a copy. You would choose instance if you want to say have these be the same all the time. So that means if you change one of them in the parameters roll out, the other will change as well. I want it to be a copy because it's actually going to have a different function to the other light. So we'll say OK. Okay, we'll put the angle snap on. Right click it. I want it to snap at 180 degrees. Click on rotate, which is E on your keyboard or up here, and turn it W to move again. So we could do this sort of thing. Slide it along, narrow down the hotspot, like so. Hold down shift, drag again. I don't want it to be copies this time, I want it to be instances, so that if I change this one the others change as well. Yeah, 4 copies, like so. And we can change the filters on them. Like so maybe. And hit render again. And that's what we get. I just wanted to go to the render setup here. The default render size output, this is the output here, is 640 by 480, which is not really what we're after. I'm going to change the image aspect to 1.8, lock it, and set the width to 1000. Hit enter. That means when we render again, we'll get a much bigger view of the scene. Once you've got your lighting all done and you're happy with it, we'll click on save image. It'll come up as all formats, so you change it to the format that you want, give it a file name and save it. Well, I probably wouldn't name it that. Okay, and there you've saved a version of this, well, you've saved this image here. Okay, that's it for now. Till next time.